Uh-oh, Daddy's thinking again.
Evolution very kindly sent two of their new cordless power tool range to me. They've sent me a circular saw and a jigsaw, which is very good timing because I've got a couple of jobs for them. First one being making a footstool. This is the circular saw, and it is a really sturdy piece of kit, much better than my old circular saw, which A, wasn't cordless, and B, was nowhere near this good quality. It's got a nice 4 amp hour battery. It's so much easier and safer to have a circular saw that's cordless. Cords are a menace with circular saws. And this has got a really nice cast sort of foot on it, or foot plate. But I've set the angle to 22.5 degrees, which should give me my octagon that I'm looking for. And the first thing I've got to do is just create that beveled angle on the edge of this 18mm plywood. This plywood was shockingly bad. Plywood in this country is getting more and more expensive. It's almost doubled in price over the past couple of years, and the quality seems to have gone downhill. There's big voids in it, just wavy layers. It just was not great. The circular saw made short work of it. It really worked very, very well. Here I'm just marking out because I'm creating these beveled planks. I'm using a trend guide here which clamps onto the workpiece, and that keeps your circular saw or router very straight as you go. Very reliable way of doing it. And here we go with the next cut. Same angle, but obviously angled the other way. And it really was very nice to use this circular saw and produce some very clean, accurate cuts. The blade worked really well. The biggest problem I was having was with the rubbish plywood. But it's in short supply, it seems, and difficult to get hold of some decent stuff. There we are. Created 2 planks with beveled sides, and I should get 4 pieces out of each plank like this. These are the sides. I started out marking out using geometry and measuring and compasses to form the first octagonal base. And here's the jigsaw. You get 4 blades with this, multi-purpose blades that cut through anything. A 2 amp hour battery, and here I am cutting out the first octagon. Not the safest way of doing it, but I'm trying to show the camera what I'm doing. And there it is. It really did a neat cut. This is using some chipboard, veneered chipboard, and I did actually scrap that one because although it was a perfect octagon, it didn't fit very well. The next one I marked out in plywood using the sides as my template. I strapped them all together, and here I am just rough cutting it out with the jigsaw. Jigsaw's another tool that cords are a menace with, really, and it was really nice having a cordless one. Here's all the sides. I've glued some little strips of wood on there. They're not for strength, they're just to help with the glue up. So I knew it was going to be a difficult glue up. And this certainly cuts plastic. The jigsaw did that. Managed to cut through my sawhorse. Schoolboy error. And here I've got one of the octagons I've cut out. I'm just marking out because there's got to be an aperture in this one. This is the upper one. The lid's going to come off this footstool so we can use it for storage. It's a Forstner bit, Fisch wave Forstner bit, one of my favourite ones. And I used the drill press to cut out the corners and then marked it out. And then it was back to the jigsaw. Made short work of this. Brilliant bit of kit, very, very pleased with that. So just cutting out that aperture. Just needed a very light bit of sanding. It was a very clean cut actually, which was good considering the quality of the ply. And here I'm marking out the actual lid, the top, using one of the sides as a spacer, because it's got to overhang. Jigsaw again. Yeah, just cutting that out and then neatening it up using my sanding machine. Test fitting. What this is the insert to go inside the lid. I'll just keep that all nicely positioned. And now the glue up. Glue everywhere. Lots of cursing. And I'm using these roof rack straps, these pallet straps, just to hold it all together. And they work very well for this. I then stuffed bits of wood down inside the straps to apply even more pressure and a few little clamps. There it is. And I left that, I think I left it overnight in the end. This is an old piece of yoga mat. I'm using some spray adhesive, upholstery adhesive, which is another one of my favourite products. And I'm just gluing that onto there, trimming it back. I want this a firm top because it's going to be used as a sort of a step as well. But that's 2 layers of yoga mat. And this is an old leather jacket I got given to make things with. So I cut the back off it. And here I'm stapling it all and stretching it and stapling it. Won't be the toughest leather, but it'll do for now. And there it is, all stapled. So that's the lid, which it looks quite nice. I'm quite pleased with the effect of that. And I did bevel the yoga mat slightly with the sanding machine just to give a nice profile. Here I'm mixing up some West Systems epoxy resin. This is laminating resin or fiberglassing resin. Weighing it out carefully and mixing it up. And then I'm applying it to my newly constructed octagonal box. Quite a generous but even coating I'm putting on this. I'm using this sort of spreader comb thing just to make sure I've got a nice even coat all the way around. Now I then left that for 1 to 2 hours just to go tacky. And here I've got some hessian cloth which I'm smoothing on. Originally I was going to use the plywood and sand the corners to create the sort of layered effect, but the plywood was so awful that I decided to cover it with hessian. So once that epoxy's gone tacky, you can smooth it on there. I'm using a little PTFE roller just to make sure it's all stuck to that epoxy. It's all folded in over the top, and I'm using a very sharp knife or scalpel just to trim everything and trim those angles on the corners. But it looked really good. A little bit hairy, that's the problem with hessian. So I burnt off the worst of the hairs using a lighter. That seemed to work quite well. And once I'd done that, I then applied another coat of epoxy just to fix all the fibres in place, just to make sure that it was sealed really. You could apply several layers if you wanted that real glass-like effect, but I wanted it to still, look like hessian. But, just mixing up some more epoxy here. It took quite a lot, I gotta say, but it was worth the effort. Just pouring it on and making sure it goes on evenly. And then a day later I'm flatting it off, and I did actually switch to a random orbital sander for this, just to lightly flatten it off, get rid of all the rough bits because it was a bit sandpaper like. The other job that the Cordless tools did was I fitted these kitchen units. We had the boiler ripped out. We had a very old 35-year-old floor standing boiler which had to be removed, and I fitted these units, and these tools came in very handy. As you can see, they're not looking particularly pristine anymore. It made a huge difference doing that kitchen job. I didn't film it, it was under a lot of time pressure doing that one, but I finished off my footstool. Here it is. Bit of polyurethane spray varnish just to finish off the hessian, and it's all nice and smooth now. It gave a really nice effect. These pictures don't really do it justice, but it's got quite a nice feel and look to it. Well, I was very pleased with it. It's very sturdy, doesn't move when you rest your feet on it, and it's a very sturdy step. I'll put some links in the description and a discount code and affiliate link if you want to purchase these tools. It would help me out a great deal. They are great. I don't recommend things I don't like. If I don't like a product, it won't appear on my channel. So many thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with some more video.
Thanks for watching. More rubbish coming soon.